DCS World by default has a pretty old and basic ATC system, but what if we could change that?
Code 11, Nellis Tower, report 5-mile initial, runway 21 right.
Hey guys, Emils here, and today we'll set up and take a look at AI ATC by Avalanche Studios. They reached out a long time ago, but I finally got around to testing it, and I was impressed. Alright, let's see what it has to offer. So, AI ATC is not a full ATC overhaul. It is more of a script for a specific airbase that you can use in the pre-built missions, or you can load a script for your own mission. But it will still only work for the same airbase. Currently, you can try Nellis Air Force Base for free, with Anderson Air Force Base on Marianas coming soon. There are also other air bases that you can get if you subscribe to them on Patreon. It is meant more for training your ATC skills than for missions, and I have to say I think it works well for that. You can get voice attack too, which would let you use it with your voice for extra immersion and practice, but I use it through the F10 menu as they recommend for the first couple of times to familiarize yourself with the system. This practice will let you use your skills in multiplayer missions and campaigns in the future. To install it, you simply follow the download link, download the zip and extract it. I personally dropped the whole folder in my saved games DCS missions folder, so all my files are in the same place and I can load it from there. I will leave a link to their Discord in the description so you can try it for yourself. Alright, let's hop into the cockpit and showcase some of the available communications. I will be doing it in the Tucano mod because I'm following Tactical DCS's basic flight course, which suggests using the mod to start out. Alright, we are in the Tucano on Nellis Air Force Base with the AI ATC mod installed. So, default you could go through the tutorial to see all the functions and how to use it. Here I'm just gonna start using it from their other mission, which is without the tutorial. So first things first, we want to turn on our aircraft. So before engines start, we want to get our radios on and electronics on. There we go, our UFC's on, and our both displays are on. So we can go into COM 1, and included in the mission is also kneeboards, which show you all the recoveries, departures, and airfield layouts, which you should learn before even using it, which is kind of crazy, of course, but it's also got these cheat sheets. Local TAC and authentication matrix, and also the radio frequencies you will need. So right now we want to contact Nellis clearance so we can file our flight plan. So here we have selected. Let's input the radio we need to use. For enter. Comms volume, let's make sure that's up. That's into normal. And let's contact clearance, departure. We're going to do VFR, and here you have to choose what kind of departure. That's also going to be in those documentation and in the charts, so you'll have to figure that out yourself, or watch the tutorials on DCS Hacks YouTube channel, which goes very in depth into this mod. Not mod per se, but into this whole system, and it's very, very good.
Dragon 1-1, Nellis clearance, cleared north war via flex north departure. Maintain at or below 4,000 on departure. Contact departure on 385.4. Squawk 4001.
Now in real procedures you would repeat all of it back, but in this mod without voice attack you just do clearance, read back, and you remember that squawk code. So that was 4011.
Dragon 1-1, read back correct. Contact Nellis ground prior to taxi.
Contact Nellis ground prior to taxi, Dragon 1-1. And that would be pretty much it for this transmission. Now we set to the Nellis ground frequency. Request engine start. Dragon 1, Nellis ground, and
Dragon 1-1, Nellis ground.
Yeah.
Engine start approved. Advise we're ready to taxi.
So there I would have said like Nellis ground, Dragon 1-1, request engine start. And then he would confirm that. So next time we contact him is going to be for our taxi.
Dragon 1-1, Nellis ground. Runway 03 right. Taxi via
Golf, Alpha, contact tower holding short runway 03 right.
Taxi via Golf Alpha, runway 03 right. Contact tower holding short. Alright, something like that. So now we can taxi via Golf Alpha. So by now I know these taxiways in my head, but you would always check the charts. I have them up on my iPad, so I wouldn't have to click through the kneeboards all the time. But pretty much right here you can see Golf and Alpha. So you just we need taxi here to 03 right. So that would be this runway here, 03 left, which can be used sometimes as well, of course. So right now we're on taxiway Golf. And over here we can see this is like Golf, and to the right we have taxiway Alpha. So we're going to taxi to the right. Right, now we're going to be holding short. We want to bring up our tower frequency. So that's going to be 327. 327, enter. Now we open up our comms. And AI ATC again. Now we go to tower. Request takeoff.
Dragon 11, runway 03 right. Wind is 260 at 1. Cleared for takeoff. Switch departure.
Okay, we're clear for takeoff. Means we can enter the runway and line up. We'll close our canopy now. Alright, let's close our kneeboard. Let's make sure our flaps are down. There's some F-15s ready to take off behind me, but we'll take off first. Excuse me, sir. Sir. I'm here first, alright? Okay, let's just take off. I'm scared of that F-15 wants to sort of take off right behind me. Now let's contact departure. Check in.
Dragon 11, Nellis departure. Radar contact. Depart flex at or below 4,000.
Roger that. I think we don't have to do a readback in this. Normally you would do a readback, but not in this system. So here we can see the speedway. We are above 3,000. We can turn to the north. So we would have the full flex departure. And we clear the airspace for the F-15s to take off right behind us. It's very cool. We can request vectors to for flex, for Dream, or for other airfields. We can also request to switch over to approach if we would want to return. That's what we actually want to do right now. So request approach.
Dragon 11, contact Nellis approach, UHF channel 6.
Okay, we'll contact approach.
Dragon 11, Nellis approach, radar contact. Descend via strike recovery for runway 21 right.
Right, now we want to go for strike recovery. Now we can open up our another kneeboard page. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll have it on my iPad next to here. And we can also request from, let's say we're a little bit lost. Let's go to approach, vector to nav point, and we can see we need apex. So let's go for apex.
Dragon 11, vectors for apex. Fly heading 097.
So we need to fly heading 097 for apex. So let's turn to the right. We want to be above 4,500 for apex.
Dragon 11, contact tower on UHF channel 4.
Now, they want me to contact tower, so we can switch to COM 1. And we can contact tower. Tower, request landing. Let's do an overhead.
Dragon 1-1, Nellis Tower, report 5-mile initial, runway 21 right.
Alright, so I could request probably vectors, but since I see the airfield, we'll just turn in. Now we'll want to report to him when we're within 5 miles. Down here, by default, we can just see our first waypoint in this aircraft. It might be different for whatever you're flying. And we'll see when this hits 5, then we'll report in with the tower. And we want to crosswind at 4,000. You can read all of that in the little in the charts as well. So we are going for an overhead at 2-1 right. In front we can see a jet, it's like an F-15.
Dragon 1-1, Nellis Tower, your number 2, behind the F-15 on final, or runway 21 right, right brake midfield. Report base.
We're number 2 behind an F-15. How did not report initial? I guess we needed to do it a little bit earlier before that 5-mile mark. So we want to reach midfield before we brake. I'd say midfield could be about that taxiway, maybe a little bit before it. We need to brake right, and then we'll report when we're at our base leg. Now that's also another term from like general aviation landing patterns, which you should know also if you're flying with DCS ATC. It's a lot of research, ground school beforehand before you can actually really use it to its full potential. Alright, we're about at midfield. Let's brake right. And I would say we're almost at our turn to base. We'll get ready to contact ATC. Tower, report. And let's turn. Report base. And we're gonna go for a full stop landing.
Dragon 1-1, check gear down. Runway 21 right. Wind is 260 at 1, cleared to land.
Runway 21 right. Cleared to land. Dragon 1-1. Alright. Now we did a little bit too tight of a turn here. Can slow down more. Normally you would line this up a bit better, but since I'm talking as well, I'm not able to focus as much. It makes it more difficult. So let's turn for the center line of the runway. We're just gonna try to hit those landing marks. The E-bracket on this aircraft, landing bracket, might not be very accurate. That's why I'm not using it. I'm just sort of eyeballing it with the angle attack as well. I think it's going to be pretty good landing here. Let's flare it. Nose down.
Dragon 1-1, welcome back. Exit runway via taxiway. Alpha, contact ground for parking.
Exit runway via taxiway Alpha. Contact ground for parking. So as before, we were taxiing on Alpha and we took off from the opposite side of this runway, from the runway next to us. So we know that Alpha is going to be right at the end, so we are pretty far away to taxi across the runway. Now it does sometimes crash after landing for me, but that could be for any number of reasons, as well as the mods I have installed. If you run into issues, you can always ask for help on our Discord. After this flight, I did another 1.5 hour flight in the Harrier, and that was very immersive. Switching through airspaces, entering the range, rendezvous with the tanker, and then returning to base again was so rewarding, and I bet with voice attack this can be a really good way to practice your ATC communications in a tactical environment. Let me know what you think of this mod in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!